here. Ray Templin, the engineer. It is one of those days as the crowd starts to thin a little bit. The doors will open to the public at about 2:30. But a lot of fun is being had today. Lieutenant Michael Shaw is with us from the Michigan State Police. Lieutenant, how are you, my friend? Wait a minute. We got to get you up here. Let's see what microphone we have. Try it again, Lieutenant. There we go. Hello. I think we got you.
Yep. So I hope the crowd isn't thinning just because I'm here. I didn't even wear my uniform today, so I could sneak into place, make sure that everybody still had a good time without me ruining that for them.
Well, I don't know about that, Lieutenant. You had a very big announcement that you made today, and I saw you. And look, anybody in media, anybody in this area, you are the go-to guy when you need anything related to law enforcement, and I'll let you share that announcement once again.
So, yep, I did talk to Paul W. a little earlier, so I'm set to retire from MSP. May 29th is my last day, probably through the month of May. I'll burn some time, things like that. But, MSP's been around since 1917. It's going to continue on. The great men and women that do all the hard work are still going to be here. There'll just be somebody coming after me to tell everybody about it. So.
Over 3 decades in law enforcement, that decision to retire, I'm sure you didn't take it lightly, and there comes a point when you've reached your max. But nonetheless, what was that decision period like for you as you've been thinking about it, I'm sure, the last probably couple of years and definitely the last several months?
So we've had a drop dead date, so to speak, for me of the 29th of May has been for me, and they're going to boot me out whether I want to leave or not. So it did take some of that time. There's a couple of times during that last 6 years or so that I did consider maybe it was time to throw in the towel, so to speak. But I just think that, I was enjoying myself and what I was doing. Again, being the media guy, so to speak, was never in my career aspiration.
That was not the trajectory originally?
That is not what I saw happening. When I first started, I came out of narcotics, got promoted to lieutenant at the Metro North Post in Oak Park. And it was decided at that time that we needed to have a public information officer. And I was asked if I would like to do that. And I said no. And the colonel said, you start Monday. And that's 2013. And I've been doing it ever since.
What's it like handling all the media requests? I mean, even to the point of just within the last week with everything that happened in West Bloomfield at Temple Israel, the eyes of the nation were on West Bloomfield to facilitate all those media requests. What is that like when you're deciding when to do a press conference, when not to do a press conference, and come to the podium?
Sometimes you just got to work before that all happens. I mean, I know Fox 2, 4, 7. You got to have a good relationship before. So we can cuss at each other a little bit as we go through the process that, you can't go up there and have something that like happened at West Bloomfield. And that's the first time I'm saying, hey, how you doing? I'm Mike. I mean, that's just not the way that it works. So you have to have that relationship now. And, when I first started, we barely had an X account, maybe a Facebook. And nowadays, I understand what the stress the reporter is under. Not only do they have a timeline to get information out, they also have to do the social media aspect of it. They got to do the selfie picture. You got to do all that other stuff that goes with it. So if I can use them and help them do their part, I'm also talking to the public at the same time, because that's really who I am speaking to is, hey, everything's okay. We got this. It's under control. Or everything's not okay. We need you to hide in your basement for a little bit until everything is okay. But, times have kind of changed. I've always told everybody I like live TV and live radio.
Right.
I think that's when I do my best work, so to speak. And I think you just got to talk to the public not like a cop. I can't flee on foot and all that kind of stuff. You just got to tell them what's going on. And I think I've kind of picked that up as I went along. through a lot of trial and a lot of error. So
talking to Lieutenant Michael Shaw from the Michigan State Police, who announced his retirement at the end of May. You mentioned social media. How big of a role has social media played in law enforcement in communicating with the public, or in instances like last week in West Bloomfield, where you may not have accurate information from the public that you're trying to combat as well?
And sometimes I think it's just telling the public on social media that, hey, I'm here and I'm going out there and I may not know everything, but this is what I do know. For sure, that's a fact. And then I may have a fact today that turns out to not be a fact tomorrow. So we just kind of have to roll with that. The hardest part with social media, I think, is there's a lot of trying to think of a polite way to say it. There's a lot of folks that went to the Facebook School of Media.
Yes.
There's a lot of ex-law students, and there's a lot of Instagram people that have gone to the police academy that all know their job or my job better than I'll never know my job forever. And you got to combat that sometimes. And sometimes you kind of look at it, and I won't lie, I'll look at somebody, if they got 50 followers, I'm not getting in an argument.
And that's one of my biggest problems too, is I'll fight with you.
Right, yeah. But
I'll get with you. I am not afraid to get down to the bottom of the barrel.
Right. So, but if you've got, 2,000-3,000 followers and you're telling people the wrong stuff, I'm going to get in your business, and tell you, hey, that's not true. And we saw a lot of that at MSU, where a lot of people were just glued to the scanner and listening to all this stuff. And if you listen to them, they were reporting that there was roving gangs on MSU with assault rifles, and it's not safe for anybody. Well, those roving gangs were police officers, and to kind of get that back to it, to say, this is what happened. Bear with me for a little bit while I try to figure it out, because I don't want to come back later on and say, man, I screwed that up. I'd rather come up there and say, give me a second and I'll find out what's going on. And I think the response in West Bloomfield, we heard a lot of, as you go through the phases of, good job, this is what happened, to blame. Now I'm hearing that we had too many cops.
Oh, yeah, right. You can't make anybody happy, but you've made a lot of people happy because it has been a career one for the ages, man. You are certainly one of the best of all time. Cannot thank you enough. We hope we could have a couple of more times that we get to do this. And on the television side as well, Lieutenant Michael Shaw, bravo to you, sir.
Thank you.
The Michigan State Police. One of the best. If you see Lieutenant Shaw, thank him, because it's law enforcement like this that it's just great to have somebody like you here in our state.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. It's been an absolute honor to represent the department.
The pleasure's ours. Lieutenant Michael Shaw, Michigan State Police. Don't go anywhere. We are live at Doyle's Irish Pub at St. John's in Plymouth, 760 WJR.
The best electrical contractors, period. The National Electrical Contractors Association of Southeastern Michigan member contractors are the best in the business, providing electrical and telecommunication services throughout the region for commercial, public, industrial, and residential projects. NECA contractors have been powering and connecting Southeastern Michigan for over 100 years, and they're proud supporters of the communities where they work and live. Put their experience and expertise to work for you. Find a NECA contractor at smcneca.org.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group,
Brett Brzezinski for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Make your splash at the Backyard Pool and Spa Show, March 20th through 22nd at the Vibe Credit Union Showplace, formerly known as Suburban Collection Showplace. Shop the best selection and biggest savings on the newest hot tubs, swim spas, pools, and accessories.
The Detroit Free Press Marathon is back in the running for USA Today's Best Marathon. Help defend our title. Let's show them what this city can do. Vote once a day, every day until March 23rd at 10best.usatoday.com. Cast your vote, Detroit. Let's stay number one.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion. Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion is here. With a mint chocolate sauce, this treat was designed to be loved. Be sure to get the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion soon, because just like Girl Scout cookie season, it won't be here forever. Plus, don't forget to order your fave cookies on girlscoutcookies.org. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's and Girl Scouts of the USA.
We have an accident slowing you down on I-94 eastbound after 9 Mile. That's blocking both of your shoulders, and I-94 eastbound between Van Dyke and 8 Mile. We've got a work crew there blocking your right lane. You're slow from Shane Street. That should wrap up in about 15 minutes. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
It is cold, going to stay cold into midweek with below average numbers. Our highs today only 28 degrees, and we're tracking some light snows on radar drifting southeast. Low tonight 19. Afternoon snow showers Wednesday, high 36. Rain showers Thursday and Friday with the 40s coming back. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore at the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
More than just a radio show, it's an entertaining daily look at the heart of the community. The Mitch Albom Show, making a difference in your life. 4 till 6 p.m. on 760 WJR.
WJR. We are live from Doyle's Irish Pub at St. John's Resort in Plymouth. Having a lot of fun here. It's been a heck of an afternoon, a heck of a morning. Paul W. Smith did his show here. Mitch Albom show will be after mine. And then, of course, sports wrap. And we'll have a special show tonight, Spotlight Detroit. But I'm joined now by Patrick Anderson, the principal and CEO of Anderson Economic Group. Mr. Anderson, it is so great to see you in person. I talked to you quite a bit, but first time we've been face-to-face doing this.
Yeah, it is great. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you, my friend.
I love the bow tie.
This is a trademark. I mean, if I don't show up with the bow tie on, people say, hey, we paid for the full Monty.
There's no idea. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Beth Ann used to work in the morning show, and she used to try to convince you to wake up early and get on with those morning guys.
Well, she was very persuasive.
I don't think I got very many no's.
And a couple times I woke up and it was the wrong day, and I was raring to go.
Worst. That's the worst. I went to work one time. I was just a story to follow that up. I went to work one time. I woke up 4:30 in the morning. I had a vacation day that day that I forgot about. Woke up at 4:30, drove to work, and I wasn't on that day. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" That's the worst. Anyway, let's talk about the economy. It feels like so volatile now, with as if it wasn't before with the tariffs. But with the war in Iran, we don't know how long it's going to last. Gas is up. Food is starting to creep up. What do you see here that's happening right now, this snapshot of the economy in the war with Iran?
Well, for first thing, you have to say this is a real war. I mean, this is a human crisis. There are people dying. We have our own Americans at risk, plus so many others. So I talk about the economy, but I don't want to minimize the human dimension of this and all the important issues for why we're there, why other people want us there.
Absolutely.
And why some people are saying, hey, we should get out. All those are more important issues. But if you look at just in terms of jobs and income, this is a very, very uncertain time. You have to remind people it's a WAR. It's a war. It's not predictable. It's not like you can just say, oh, we'll have an episode and we'll go over it. We don't know how long we're going to see disruption of oil coming out of the Persian Gulf. We don't know if the shooting war with bombs and everything expands outside where it is. We don't know if it affects more of travel, et cetera, and other things. And I hope all that doesn't happen. But the fact is, when you're in a war, you have to allow the fact that wars are unpredictable, and that's a number one issue facing the United States now.
No doubt about it. And the human cost, the human element of that, there's no question about it. The number one, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would always think that the number one issue that people vote with is their pocketbook. This is an election year as well. Affordability has been a word that we used dating back to, one of the reasons why President Trump was elected in the first place, because of inflation and things like that. How long will it take for the economy to recover, even if the war ended today? How long does that lag time in the economy, how long does it take to kind of take over a little bit?
Oh, the tariffs are still in place, the Section 232 tariffs. And if you look at the Anderson Economic Group compilation, we're at $12.5 billion in tariffs just from Canada and Mexico. And those are largely on what we consider to be American cars built in the United States, or built in the United States with Canadian and Mexican parts, or built in Mexico with American parts. So that's a very, very big burden in 1 year, and that's not counting other tariffs. With the Supreme Court decision, which I think was correct, we now don't have the reciprocal tariffs, but tariff overhang is still there. It's affecting prices. It's affecting production. Inflation is coming down, but it's still not where we want it to be. The biggest issue here is uncertainty that people feel, and war goes into it, but also, the changes in policy, the fact that tariff policy seems to keep changing, and we're starting to feel some labor issues here. So there's been an immigration, I'll say crackdown. I think that's the fair word. A lot of Americans wanted a change in policy, and so I'm talking about going beyond just a change in policy to securing the borders, to what has happened now, where you're seeing labor supply affected. All these things come together to make it a time when, as you saw from the fourth quarter GDP, there's a real slowdown. And yes, it's occurring in an election year.
You talk about uncertainty, and we're talking to Patrick Anderson, principal and CEO of Anderson Economic Group. Uncertainty seems to be a word that we use. It feels like tariffs were such a big deal. And that Supreme Court decision that happened on a Friday a couple of weeks ago, and so many things have happened since then. It was almost like this news cycle, Patrick, is so crazy almost that happened on a Friday. You think you're coming in on a Monday to talk about the Supreme Court decision, but you've had 3 days of major news before you get to Monday, and then now weeks after that. How do businesses keep up with this constant news cycle? And the word you used I thought was perfect: uncertainty. That uncertainty is driving people nuts.
It is, and driving people nuts is a very technical way of saying why you might not hire somebody,
right?
Why you might not make an investment, and if you're a consumer, why you might not buy that car, might not buy that appliance, might not take that vacation, might not make that long-term purchase that if you're more confident you would. That's definitely affecting Americans right now. And I'm saying this knowing full well that a lot of Americans wanted, and in fact are benefiting from, some of the policy changes that have gone into place. But you've also considerably ratcheted up the uncertainty people feel about how much prices are going to be related to tariffs, now about international events. Not all that is just something you should blame on the current administration or Congress, but it's definitely something that's affecting Americans right now.
You mentioned people maybe holding off on big purchases. What effect do you think having a new Fed chair in May will do to that? Do you feel like that is a line where we may start to see interest rates come down even lower than they are now, and people feel like they can buy a house, buy a car, buy bigger purchases, or is that just a irrelevant thought right now?
I think people may be putting too much emphasis on the now nominated incoming Fed chair. I think he has stated pretty well that the Fed was, I'll say, too top heavy with Ivy League PhDs. Well, that's the shorthand here. They're not all from the Ivy League. Plenty from my alma mater, Michigan.
Go Blue.
Others, but Chicago. But we really did at the Fed. I think there was too much policy making basically in Washington and Wall Street. And I'm very happy that we now have 2 Fed governors who were deans at the Ford School at University of Michigan. So they've got a Midwestern look. So that's important. And I think this new Fed chair, if it's the person the president nominated, is going to be a fresh look and something that's positive for interest rates, not only long term but short term.
Final thing, let me ask you, talk about the labor market. And I've done this over the last couple of weeks. There seems to be so many companies laying off massive amounts of workers for whatever reason. Maybe it's artificial intelligence, AI, uncertainty, whatever the case may be. Where is this labor market going? Because it feels like companies are very comfortable to thin out a little bit. I mean, even Meta right now talking about 20% of their workforce.
Well, part of this is, I'll say, the tech industry. I mean, I'm really talking about big tech.
Big tech, even manufacturing, you know.
And big tech clearly had a lot of overhiring, bad hiring in place, a lot of bad productivity, bad management, vaporware. And so a lot of you seeing a correction that was bad business decisions, including bad hiring decisions there. And in some cases, really good workers who were doing their job lost their jobs. So they're victims too. I'm more concerned now about, though, in manufacturing. We see a manufacturing slowdown. We see a lot of, I'll say, particularly younger males out of the workforce. There's some worrying trends that are in there. And a side effect of immigration policy here is we also have fewer people entering, and we see a reduction in some places. That all coming together at once. It makes for a very combustible mix.
Love to have you back and talk about that at some point here over the next couple of weeks. Patrick Anderson, we appreciate your expertise. We love the green bow tie on St. Patrick's Day. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. Great to see you face to face.
All right.
Absolutely.
Care,
Patrick Anderson, principal and CEO of Anderson Economic Group. Coming up next, we're going to talk about housing. Our good friend Christina Gennari is here. We'll get the latest market news as it relates to that. Don't go anywhere. Doyle's Irish Pub, 760 WJR.
When it comes to keeping your job site safe and your gear ready to work, Skyworks Equipment Rental has you covered. Right now, get an annual equipment inspection for just $99 plus any applicable taxes. Upon inspection, any needed parts or labor will be quoted before it begins. No surprises, just reliability. Mention WJR's Inside Outside guys to lock in this special offer. Visit skyworks-reliablerentals.com. That's skyworks-reliablerentals.com and keep your equipment working as hard as you do this spring.
Custom built for Detroit. 760 WJR.
For more than 55 years, Kitch Attorneys and Counselors has been the name Metro Detroit trusts. Since 1969, our proven defense litigation trial lawyers have delivered strategic problem-solving and proven results. At Kitch, you get comprehensive counsel tailored to your unique challenges, diverse perspectives, innovative solutions, precision, dedication, and a team committed to navigating even the most intricate legal issues. Kitch Attorneys and Counselors. Experience matters. Solutions count. Visit Kitch.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AUTO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AUTO for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Israel says it has killed 2 senior Iranian security officials in overnight strikes. Fox's Trey Yinks is in Tel Aviv.
Israel's defense minister Israel Katz says Ali Larijani, A top Iranian official was killed in one of those strikes. In a separate strike, the top commander for the besieged forces, Gholam Reza Soleimani, was also killed along with a dozen other top Iranian officials.
Iran did not immediately confirm the killings. President Trump's trip to China has been delayed as the U.S. and Israel continue to strike Iran.
We're resetting the meeting, and it looks like it'll take place in about 5 weeks. We're working with China. They were fine with it.
The president speaking at the White House today during a St. Patrick's Day meeting with the Irish Prime Minister. Trump has pressured Beijing and other nations to form a coalition to protect the Strait of Hormuz. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Boeing at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live professional theater at Thumb Coast Theaters in downtown St. Clair and Marine City, where the magic of Broadway comes alive right here at home. Don't miss Boeing, the hilarious comedy where one flight captain, 3 fiancés, and a flight schedule collide. Book your tickets today at thumbcoasttheaters.com. That wreck on US 23 northbound at Getty's is cleared. We do have an accident on I-94 eastbound after 9 Mile. That's blocking both of your shoulders, and some construction slowing you down on the Jeffries in both directions between M14 and Levan. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A cloudy afternoon with highs in the upper 20s. Some clouds for tonight will drop down to 19. Right now overcast, 25 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR traffic and weather first.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. When you're forced to make tough choices, keeping the lights and heat on shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. Count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your art journey, Do Michelle's invite you to discover something extraordinary this March. Explore an extensive estate jewelry collection including Cartier and Tiffany. Find art from important private collections, works by renowned modern masters, and a curated selection of mid-century modern and traditional furnishings. Join online or in person March 19th and 20th with preview open now. Visit DUMOArt.com to learn more and bid. Do Michelle's, your #1 place to buy art in the Midwest.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets. The Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories.
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
But at a depth and breadth that only Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day.
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
And into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. It's a sea of green at Doyle's Irish Pub on WJR. And the annual Paul W. Smith St. Patrick's Day celebration carries on with JR Afternoon's Ryan Ermanni. Sponsored in part by Visit Detroit, Nika Weingarts, Kitsch Attorneys and Counselors, Skyworks Equipment Rental, Genesis Cadillac, Estate Planning Legal Services, and by Wigley's famous Eastern Market Corned Beef. Once again, here's Ryan.
760 WJR. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Be careful out there as well. The snow is coming down. I know there's traffic out there. Derek Kevra said this morning, and I'll tell you, it feels like it. This is the coldest St. Patrick's Day in 50 years. 1976 was the last time St. Patrick's Day was this cold outside. And wind chills are in the low teens right now. So pretty ridiculous stuff. Not the St. Patrick's Day that I think a lot of us were hoping for weather-wise, but if you are inside cozying up to a Guinness or some green beer, whatever your drink of choice is, hopefully you're doing it responsibly and having a great time. Christina Gennari, I used to get wrecked on St. Patrick's Day. It was like a holiday. But it's all good. Let me turn you on here. There we go. Christina Gennari from Keller Williams Domain. I don't know how you respond to that, but yeah, I used to love getting going out.
Used to.
I used to. My days off back in the day, I didn't have a Monday through Friday schedule until 2020. So from 03 until 20, I worked like my days off were some combination of Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. So, yeah, we got after it on days like today. So pretty funny stuff. You having a good time?
It's always a holiday in Detroit.
Always, no doubt. I mean, the old shillelagh was going nuts downtown today. We're here at Doyle's in Plymouth. This place was, hopping. There's no doubt about it. But, hey, I wanted to have you on because I wanted to talk about housing. We just talked to Patrick Anderson and the economy and so much uncertainty, and people aren't really making big purchases right now from a housing perspective. What are you seeing right now?
It's a hit or miss. You have to be priced right and make sure that you're doing the right things to strategically target the market right now. Not everyone wants to go on the market. Like, not everyone should sell their house today.
Is that the biggest do people think their homes are worth more always than they actually are? Is that like a big thing? Yeah, but when you go into pricing a house, is that among the biggest issues?
Statistically, yes, but overall, it's a balance. So we always have a conversation of like, what do you think your house is worth? What do I think it's worth? Price per pound, if you will. So what are your neighbors selling for? What are the things that you've done to your house to make the most of it? And then what do we expect? Because we want to have a realistic conversation to make sure that it's marketed the right way and we're not, going into the market with unfair expectations.
Where is springtime, on a calendar in terms of just over historically a time to buy, sell? Is it a hot time, not a hot time? Just historically, where is springtime in Michigan? Where does that?
So I think when you say springtime, people think like tulips and daffodils and flowers blooming. But really what happens is it's between Valentine's and St. Patty's Day. So this is our spring market when people get started. And it's after New Year's. Like, you've cooked your last holiday dinner in your kitchen and you're like, I'm done with this place. Like, I need to move on. I'm tired of maintaining it through the winter and I need to make it a change.
So would you say this is a buyer's market, seller's market, or just it's an anything market right now?
It's an anything market.
Yeah.
I mean, it's balanced. It is, I would say, very balanced, where if you overprice, you're not going to sell your house. Like, you will not sell your house if it is overpriced. And you also won't see a lot of traffic. You won't see showings. You won't see offers. But if you price it right, then you're going to sell your house quickly.
Where do interest rates figure in the decision? Because I have a great interest rate, and because of it, I will never sell my house. Like, I feel like I'll never sell my house because my interest rate is so low. And until or unless an interest rate came down that low, I think I would have a hard time moving it. Is that a consideration for why people don't have a number of homes on the market right now? Or
so imagine your interest rate, but then imagine having like 2 or 3 more children.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I yes. Okay, yeah. I guess that's all individual, and that's all because I'm done having children. And I know that for a fact with a 99.9% certainty that I am done. And my family is not growing anymore. But I understand the point. But nonetheless, interest rates, I would imagine, are a factor.
The interest rates are going to keep you in your house, and especially a little bit longer, which I think they've done. Like, they've almost come to that expiration date where you've said, I've been in my house with these extra children, or I've been in this house since our children have left and we've enjoyed our 2 or 3% interest rate. But now we don't want to maintain this big house. We don't want to have what we currently have, and we have to make the change. Like, the mental peace of mind to get to the next step ends up being worth the change.
Absolutely. Everybody's got their own reason for moving, staying, renovating, not renovating, buying, selling, what have you. Do you anticipate a market move in May. We get a new Fed chair. Perhaps interest rates would lower again. The sun is shining. Those tulips are up. People look outside, want a yard maybe. Where do you think we are going in this market?
So right now we're at under 6% for our interest rate.
Which is great compared to the last several years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fantastic. Like we've been between the 6s, 7s, and 8s even, which is historically like an average. So average is to try to stay under 8. If you talk to your grandparents or your parents, like under 8 is going to be your average. But now with where we're at, I think everyone's come to terms with like it's not going to be 2 or 3% interest rates, and we just got to move on. You have to live in the house that you really want.
No doubt about it. All right. You got anything hot on the market right now? You got a lot of things. What's happening? I'm not going to ask you to pick one because then somebody's going to get mad, but where can people find you?
You can find me at soldchristina.com. My cell phone is 248-550-4788. But we are across all of Metro Detroit. We have the Woodward Corridor to far east, far north, far south, past Ann Arbor. Like we're all over the place. We have a great team.
You are all over the place. I've known you a long time. You do great work. SoldChristina.com is the website. The phone number again, just in case.
248-550-4788.
All right. SoldChristina.com. Christina Gennari, Keller Williams Domain. We appreciate you hanging in there with us here on St. Patrick's Day. How about it? Thanks so much, my friend.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right, we're going to come right back. We're going to talk to our friends from DraftKings. The Chief Responsible Gaming Officer from DraftKings will join us. March Madness is here. It is the most gambled on sporting event each and every year is March Madness. And look, there's a lot of people out there that are finding themselves in more and more trouble. So how can you use it as an entertainment source without getting in trouble? We'll talk to Lori Kalani. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
Time-honored quality has made Guernsey Farms Dairy a staple in Michigan fridges for over 80 years. And with their commitment to dependable goodness, they are sure to be a staple in yours. Guernsey Farms Dairy has built their tradition right here in Michigan, focusing on what their customers and local grocers want and need. When John McGuire started Guernsey Farms Dairy, he had a vision, and now it's continued with the family's third generation. John wanted to create a legacy for his family and the community, and the McGuire family is proud to continue that work today. Guernsey now delivers over 70,000 gallons of milk a week because of their great team and its partnership with family-owned Walnutdale Farms in Wayland, Michigan. Remember, when looking for Guernsey's award-winning milk, ice cream, and lemonade, make sure to visit your local grocer or stop by their store for an experience like no other.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
Williams International in Pontiac is looking for skilled trades talent able to work second and third shifts and will be hosting an on-site job fair Wednesday, March 18th from 4 till 7 p.m. To learn more, visit the careers page at williams-int.com.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast. Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
2 words, prostate exam. Did your butt just clench? Relax. Screening starts with a simple, finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. But don't clench. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or older and have a prostate, visit RelaxIt'sABloodTest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
When it comes to keeping your job site safe and your gear ready to work, Skyworks Equipment Rental has you covered. Right now, get an annual equipment inspection for just $99 plus any applicable taxes. Upon inspection, any needed parts or labor will be quoted before it begins. No surprises, just reliability. Mention WJR's Inside Outside guys to lock in this special offer. Visit Skyworks-ReliableRentals.com. That's Skyworks-ReliableRentals.com and keep your equipment working as hard as you do this spring.
When your money's on the line, are you okay with a basic free tax service? Get the confidence of TurboTax with free Fed and state filing on Intuit Credit Karma. Around 37% of filers qualify. Simple 1040s only. See details at turbotax.com/free.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. I started Blindster in my garage over 15 years ago to make custom blinds easy and affordable for everyone. You measure, you install, and you save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
We have an accident blocking both of your shoulders on I-94 eastbound after 9 miles. Some construction slowing you down on the Jeffries eastbound between I-275 and Levan Road. Westbound between Levan and I-275. It's a slow go as well due to that construction. Broken water main on 14 Mile Road, both directions between Drake Road and Farmington Road. Please avoid that area until further notice. Authorities are still unsure as to when this will reopen. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A cloudy afternoon with highs in the upper 20s. Some clouds for tonight will drop down to 19. Overcast and 23 degrees right now. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
All right, we're flying by the seat of our pants here at Doyle's Irish Pub here at St. John's Resort, Plymouth, Michigan. Having a lot of fun here. I am going to guess that we have our guests on the line. It is St. Patrick's Day, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. Lori Kalani, Chief Responsible Gaming Officer at DraftKings. Are you there, Lori?
I am here.
Oh, my gosh. I love it when technology and a plan works. We are at Doyle's Irish Pub, Lori, today. And let me tell you, it can get a little out of hand, let me tell you. Are you having fun on St. Patrick's Day over there?
Oh, I'm having the time of my life.
I'm sure. Well, let's talk about this because, look, March Madness is a huge time for everybody to enjoy a little gambling as they watch March Madness. Very popular time to place a wager. Talk to me about responsible gambling and what that, first of all, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so to me, that means that somebody recognizes that they're spending money for entertainment, right? Not as a way to make money. Sure, some people will win some bets and make money, but sports betting is a form of entertainment. And so we want everybody to think of it that way. And just like any other entertainment, set a budget on what they want to spend. And of course, that's going to be different for everybody, but that's really important. So, especially in times like March Madness, where it goes on for a couple of weeks and it's super exciting and, there's underdogs and there's bracket busters and people get overly excited, having that budget set ahead of time and even using the tools that we offer to our customers, such as, loss limits, deposit limits, time limits, really helps to keep the action fun and never let it go to a place where it's uncomfortable or somebody's spending more than they can afford.
Is that some of the best tools that people can look for on sites such as yourself on DraftKings or anywhere else they play, is just really look for those limits and be cognizant of what you're doing and what you're able to afford?
Yeah, I think that that's a great way to do it. But so at DraftKings, we have something called My Stat Sheet, and I think it's a great tool. It's really not a tool, but more of a report or a dashboard. So anybody who's a customer on DraftKings can go to the little RG shield in the right-hand corner of the screen, hit it, and then scroll down to My Stat Sheet, and then immediately pull up a report of everything that they've spent on DraftKings. So their net wins, their net losses, how much time they've spent. And so that's really about staying informed and not losing track. So not everybody wants to set a limit. Not everybody needs to actually set a physical limit, but I think having a budget in mind and then using something, either a limit, setting a limit, or keeping my stat sheet close at hand and just staying informed about what you've spent is a really helpful tool to keep it responsible.
Talking to Lori Kalani, the Chief Responsible Gaming Officer at DraftKings, as March Madness tips, actually the play-in games, the first-round games, begin tonight. And then obviously we turn to our brackets on Thursday, and certainly a lot of wagers that people can make. And it is one of those where it's 24/7 constantly. You can do something if you'd like to. But what about education? That's one of the reasons why I was glad to talk to you today, Lori, because I think education is a big part of doing it responsibly and knowing that there are potential pitfalls and how not to fall into those. Because whether it's alcohol or cigarettes, these things are legal, but you can, or anything. And gambling is certainly legal as well, and it could be a form of entertainment, but you can go down a road that isn't great too. But the education factor in that is important, and I think that's what you're doing by going around the country and having these conversations as well. Is that correct? Education is important.
Yeah, I wake up every morning and I do a little education cheer. And I'm not kidding, because I do think you're exactly right. I mean, I would say starting with understanding the bet that you're placing, the rules, the risks, the odds of the game. It makes it more fun, but it also educates the consumer and our customer on, if they put down $10, what they should expect to get back. And so that helps as well. So it's really education about the tools, education about knowing when to stop, education about, what chasing losses looks like. And we have a great responsible gaming center. It's available at rg.draftkings.com. And somebody does not need to be a DraftKings customer or have an account to see the resources that are there. And I encourage everybody that I talk to now during March Madness, but everywhere I go, I'm like a broken record. I say, go to that website and see the tools that are available, because even if you're not a sports bettor, you probably know somebody who is. And the more that we can normalize and, talk about this as something that is for everybody, not for people that have problems. People who have problems with gaming should not be gambling, but it's, the tools are there for people who want to be responsible and continue to enjoy it and have fun and really reap the satisfaction and the excitement that, having a little skin in the game provides for people. It's exciting. Someone said, it puts heartbeat in the game. And I agree with that, but it's got to be responsibly.
And again, that website again was rg.draftkings.com for responsible gaming information. Lori, let me ask you about this week in particular. Young men. I saw a statistic that more than half of young men ages 18 to 49 have a sports gambling account somewhere. One of them, one of the sports websites out there, or the online websites, I should say. What are you seeing from that demographic specifically, in just a potential for somebody to go down that road, or a percentage or statistics regarding that specific group of young people out there, young men 18 to 49?
Yeah, I would say that I'm really glad that most jurisdictions have legalized sports betting, because this is a legal, regulated way for everybody to engage in the sports fandom. I mean, the last time I checked, it's expensive to go see a game, right? 100%. And so for $200, somebody could go see, a MLB game, or they could, budget $200 for the entire Major League Baseball season and say, I'm gonna, put $5 on my team every time they play. So I think it's really a great opportunity for everybody to get more excited and to feel like they're in the game. And I think our average bet is around between $5 and $12. So look, that's not a lot of money, but it could be a lot of money to somebody who's in college. So again, I think that everyone's budget is different, but using these tools that are available, it's like when you go on social media, there's all kinds of settings you can set to make sure that you don't post a picture that you wouldn't want the world to see. It's educating yourself, learning how to use the tools that suit you best, and then just having the tools help make the experience more fun.
Final question, and I think I'm seeing these more and more lately, and I appreciate that. Do you believe the companies, like DraftKings, who you represent, do you believe they need to do more in terms of advertising this portion as well? And obviously you're going around the country today and you're sharing your message about responsible gambling, but in terms of the television or the radio or the advertisements, to advertise responsible gaming as much as, or at least approaching the ads that are on TV?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we launched a huge marketing campaign last year around responsible gaming. You should look for it online if you haven't seen it. It was done to The Gambler, the song, the Kenny Rogers song. It was a great ad. We continue to push that out, often and all over the country. And I would say, every ad that we put out, whether it's a new customer offer or any other kind of ad, everything has a responsible gaming message on it. And every step of the way, you can't really spend 5 seconds on the DraftKings app without seeing that RG up in the corner or getting a message from us. We sent 44 million messages last year around RG. So we're advertising it. We're educating consumers. We're having sweepstakes, incentivizing people to use the tools. I definitely encourage you to look at the Gambler ad because it was an amazing, great ad that we've gotten great,
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Lloyd Jackson.
Brain surgery has come a long way, and one of the most exciting advances is laser ablation therapy.
Traditional brain tumor surgery essentially consists of removing a part of the skull through a larger incision and then physically removing the tumor. Laser ablation is a less invasive way of achieving the same means of either killing or reducing the amount of tumor that's there.
That's Dr. Ian Lee, a neurosurgeon at Henry Ford Health and co-director of the Hermelin Brain Tumor Center. Dr. Lee explains the ideal candidates for this procedure.
The latest evidence or the recommendations that come from our national societies recommend that it's used for either recurrent or newly diagnosed gliomas. And so while these are a relatively uncommon tumor, they're also, laser ablation is also very useful for brain metastases as well.
Dr. Lee says recovery is often faster, complications are fewer, and patients can return to daily life sooner. Some patients worry about having a laser inside their brain. Dr. Lee reassures them that the procedure is highly controlled and monitored in real time.
The way we use it safely is by using very fine navigation. So it's kind of like a GPS for the brain. And so we pre-plan our trajectory and then use a robot to place the laser fiber. In doing so, the risk of causing a bleed, which is the biggest risk with whenever you put something into the brain, is only about 1%.
For more information on laser ablation brain surgery, talk with your neurosurgeon or call the Henry Ford Hermelin Brain Tumor Center at 888-777-4167. I'm Lloyd Jackson for WJR Health Watch.
This St. Patrick's Day weekend, keep our community safe from drunk driving. If you celebrate a little too much, don't rely on the luck of the Irish. Use a rideshare or designated driver from your friends at Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Thinking about installing a home EV charger? Lighthouse Electric has EV charger installs starting as low as $6.99. Call 888-91-LIGHT. From service upgrades to new construction and remodels, call Lighthouse Electric, 888-91-LIGHT. That's 888-91-LIGHT.
Every business starts with an idea. With smart business buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
We have an accident on I-94 eastbound after 9 Mile Road that's blocking both of your shoulders. Construction slowing you down on the Jeffries eastbound and westbound between Levan Road and I-275 and 14 Mile Road in both directions between Drake Road and Farmington Road. You're closed due to a broken water main. Please avoid until further notice. Authorities are still unsure as to when this will reopen, but rest assured, we'll let you know when it does. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. This year, don't just get a tax refund, upgrade it. Turn your refund into a bigger return with a brand new roof from Weather Seal Home Improvements. Right now, they'll add an extra $1,000 to your refund toward your new roof. That's a smart deal. Book today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. That's weathersealhomeimprovements.net. A cloudy afternoon with highs in the upper 20s. Some clouds for tonight will drop down to 19. Right now it's overcast and 25 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First. Thinking about installing a home EV charger? Lighthouse Electric has EV charger installs starting as low as $6.99. Call 888-91-LIGHT. From service upgrades to new construction and remodels, call Lighthouse Electric, 888-91-LIGHT. That's 888-91-LIGHT.
Live from Doyle's Irish Pub at St. John's Resort in Plymouth, the Paul W. Smith St. Patrick's Day celebration continues on WJR with JR Afternoons Ryan Ermanni. Sponsored in part by Visit Detroit, Nika, Weingarts, Kitsch Attorneys and Counselors, Skyworks Equipment Rental, Genesis Cadillac, Estate Planning Legal Services, and by Wigley's famous Eastern Market Corned Beef. Here's Ryan.
We are having a great time here at Doyle's Irish Pub at St. John's Resort in Plymouth, Michigan. Let me tell you, Paul W. Smith had his show here earlier today. This place was packed, and Paul was a superstar celebrity. I mean, to see all of the people come and talk to Paul, and it was awesome to see. I will tell you, and all of the people here, it's one thing to be able to talk to them in on the radio or on the phone, but to see them face to face, this is one of those opportunities you get to see people face to face. It was great to see Paul. It was great to see. I mean, I don't want to. I could give you a list of about 50 people, but nonetheless, one of those people is sitting right in front of me. The great Jack Krasula, who you can hear on this radio station as well, 760 WJR. Jack, happy St. Patrick's Day, but where's your green?
My pants.
Oh.
My pants.
Okay.
All right.
You're sitting down, so I didn't.
Paul W. Smith is the GOAT.
Isn't he?
But he's the opening act for the Ryan Ermanni show every day.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Call it as
about
it
that.
is, right?
I'll tell you, I am sandwiched between Paul W. Smith and Mitch Albom. I mean, come on. Does it get any better than, I mean, come on. So one of those names in the three don't match. But I'll take it. I'll take it. Speaking of Mitch, he is going to be broadcasting here live next. I wanted to get your take on the 60 Minutes piece on Mitch and the orphanage in Haiti. Was that something or what?
If you haven't watched it, pull it up. 20 minutes. Him and Janine. First, they're the helicopter, and you see the homes, the little shacks, touching each other. He said, we used to employ 2 guards. Now we employ 24 guards. Every day, all of the kids, the teachers have like a fire drill.
Yeah.
Right? What that man has done since 2010, every month, Ryan, he hasn't missed. Unbelievable.
It is incredible. And I told him this yesterday when I had a chance to see him. I have heard him talk about the orphanage before. I have seen stories in the past. But to see it like that on 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper kind of charting the way and everything like that, I thought that was one of the best 60 Minutes pieces that I've seen in quite some time. And, you just get a sense of really how special Mitch is in terms of affecting the lives of people, whether it's here in Detroit with the millions that he's raised and donated to Say Detroit, to the Have Faith Haiti mission there. It's truly incredible how you affect a life like that.
We were blessed to hear him speak about a week ago.
Yes.
Right? And he talked about how he dreamed of a big family, and a famous wife. And then God gives him Janine, no kids, but suddenly now 80, 90 kids.
Right.
And I think 18 of them are right down the street at Madonna University, and they come to dinner in Franklin at the house every Sunday night.
It's incredible stuff. It's awesome. And it was just really a joy to see that. And it's a joy to see you here today too, Jack, because you do such great work as well. You actually host speakers here where we are right now monthly. Tell me about that.
This is season 5 of the AIP speaker series. For 21 years, I've been blessed to have the weekly radio show on JR. Unbelievable. I'm not the host, I'm the beneficiary. And 5 years ago, God said, Jack, I'm bringing you phenomenal guests. I want you to bring one a month to town to speak. And we do it here at St. John's Resort. Our next one actually is this Thursday night. It's a guy that grew up in Beverly Hills, Michigan, went to Shrine Grade School. His mom was the principal. Then he went to U of D Jesuit High School, falls in love with the Jesuits, and he becomes a Jesuit. He's a young pastor. I think he's 36 in Ann Arbor at a church that's not big enough for all the kids that want to come every Sunday.
Wow.
Okay, that's what he's going to talk about, youth and the rebirth. And he was just named, Ryan, as the 31st president of U of D Jesuit High School.
Incredible.
He's going to be he's a phenomenal speaker. So that's this Thursday. No registration, no cost. We start with the rosary at 6:30. He speaks at 7, questions and answers. And then we always serve the world's greatest carrot cake cupcakes.
Got to get the young people here. Got to get the young people here.
Okay.
Talk to me about the young people for a minute. What are you seeing? There seems to be this renewed sense of faith from young people.
There's a guy, Curtis Martin, out of Denver. Focus. And once a year, he has a SEEK conference, 4 days, SEEK. It's the first week of January when these college kids are off. The conference is not in South Beach, not in Vegas, not in the Bahamas somewhere. This year it was in Columbus, Ohio. 4 days, 26,000 kids.
It's incredible. What does that say to you?
The loneliness, the social media with the phone, they're empty. They're searching for something else. The Father Mike Schmitz, he spoke at this. We have a YouTube channel, AIP Speaker Series YouTube channel. All of these speeches are out there. We've had over 200,000 views just on the Father Mike Schmitz alone. He's a rock star.
He is a rock star. We've had an opportunity to speak with him several times here on the show, and I'm sure we'll get a chance to speak with him several more times as the months go on here, because we're going to have another golf tournament here at St. John's Resort. I'm sure he's going to be back to be a part of that as well. I'll be looking forward to that. But you nailed it, Jack. The young people, it feels like they do want to grasp onto something. We have the information now after 10 years or so of social media. I mean, I know it's been around for a little bit longer than 10 years, but really hardcore use for 10 years. We now have about a decade of young people saying, I need something else. I need some connection to something else other than this device.
And God has chosen the Bishop Barron, our own John Ricardo, Father Ricardo, he lives right here on the campus. Okay? Father Mike Schmitz, a few other, the Hello app. Okay? He's learned to use technology to win over the, and mainly male men, even more so than women.
We just talked about that with the DraftKings responsible gambling guest that we had too, because you talk about young people, young men. More than half of American males ages 18 to 49 have a sports gambling account and are betting on sports. And in many of them go down a road into the problem gambling area. And it takes maybe a little bit of faith to pull yourself out of that.
There's one parish, there's one Catholic church inside the city that every Sunday has at least 1,000 parishioners come. It's not the cathedral. It was abandoned for 30 years. It's St. Joseph's Basilica down by Eastern Market.
Wow.
And it's the Latin Mass, the traditional Latin Mass, 3 Masses, 300, 400, 500, 600 people every Sunday.
Is that something?
And there's nobody your age or my age. They're all young dads, the moms with the babushka or the doily.
Sure.
And 5, 6 little kids at the Latin Mass.
God bless you.
There's a rebirth.
We gotta have you on again, Jack. I love talking to you, and please give your lovely wife Pamela Good my love as well. She is one of my favorite people. She is on a mission to make sure that every child in this state can read at grade level. Pamela Good from Beyond Basics, Jack Pasulo. We love you guys so much.
It's an honor to be a small part of WJR, and we have greatly improved because of Ryan Ermanni joining us.
Gosh, thank
really,
you.
really.
Thank you.
You do a tremendous
My
job.
boss is sitting right behind you, so I love that you said that. We'll be right back. 760 WJR.
I'm his agent.
Williams International in Pontiac is looking for skilled trades talent able to work second and third shifts and will be hosting an on-site job fair Wednesday, March 18th from 4 till 7 p.m. To learn more, visit the careers page at williams-int.com.
It's the Inside Outside guys. Time for your home's annual checkup.
Replace that furnace filter. It improves air quality and efficiency instantly.
Schedule an HVAC tune-up before the summer heat.
And check attic insulation.
And for the area's most trusted contractors to help you with your next home project, visit theinsideoutsideguys.com. That's theinsideoutsideguys.com.
Sponsored by Basements Plus.
Hi, I'm Steve Iverson with my wife Amy. We are the proud owners of Basements Plus. Over the last 20 years, we have become the experts in basement finishing and foundation repair.
If you have a wet basement, cracked or bowed foundation walls, or looking to create a new lower level, we are the company for you.
We have perfected our processes to make it easy to create dry, usable, brag-worthy basements.
Our team of experts can help you love your basement.
Visit us today at basementsplus.com. That's basementsplus.com.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS? Whether it's due to job loss, a divorce, a new business venture, or you just didn't file your taxes, don't lose hope. Powerful relief programs are now available that can help you and may reduce or even eliminate what you owe the IRS. With the cost of living affecting millions across the country, Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying anyone with $5, $50, or even $500,000 in back taxes to the IRS to call to get relief options. With over 1,000 5-star Google reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, TRA is America's trusted choice for real tax relief. Relief options are now available that can give you a fresh start and peace of mind. End your tax nightmare today by calling our tax relief hotline. Dial 800-390-8478. 800-390-8478. That's 800-390-8478. Or visit TRA.com. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
We have debris blocking your center lanes on the Davison westbound near Woodward Avenue. It's a slow go on I-94 eastbound between I-75 and Van Dyke. Also on I-94 eastbound between 11 and 12 Mile. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A cloudy afternoon with highs in the upper 20s. Some clouds for tonight will drop down to 19. Right now overcast and 27 degrees. WJR traffic and weather first.
Weekday mornings, it's veteran storyteller and award-winning journalist Kevin Dietz, breaking down the headlines Michiganders are talking about. Kevin talks, and then you talk on All Talk, 9 a.m. to noon on 760 WJR.
The Dan Bongino Show.
It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it.
Hard truths.
Remember, I just told you, flooding the zone with facts not related to evidence is not getting to truth, it's obscuring. Don't accuse me of partisan bias here. This show tries to get to a truth lodestar by showing you things called evidence, not random facts unrelated to the point. Well, let's get to truth. Let's produce actual evidence. There's only one choice, man.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
See you there.
760 WJR live from Doyle's Irish Pub. Yes. Ray Templin out here just clapping it up for me as we move forward here on St. Patrick's Day. Oh my gosh, you know what? I've got to, Beth Ann, you have got to play a little game with me. All right, you ready for
Let's do it.
I need to Beth Ann Long, by the way, my great producer extraordinaire. One of my favorite things to do on the television side of things is play like these game shows with Dina and Marielle. And I did one today. I'd like to do a little Irish St. Patrick's Day trivia with you. Simply true or false. Okay, true or false trivia. Now, who's back at the station? Dominic, can you hear me a little bit? Do you have a little beat, any little Irish music that we could put up during this segment? And I'm sorry that I'm doing that to you on the – and look, you ask and you shall receive. Here we go. This is our true or false Irish trivia. All right. St. Patrick was born – very simple. I am going to give you the question. You tell me true or false.
Okay.
Were you a good student, by the way?
I was a great student.
Okay. Better on true or false tests or better on did you guys do blue books when you were in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you had a blue book
I did
as
do
well?
blue books.
Okay. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the true or false St. Patrick's Day trivia game. St. Patrick was actually born in Ireland. True or false?
True.
False. St. Patrick was not born. So 0 for 1. That's an incorrect, okay? Sorry for that. Sorry for your luck there, Beth Ann. Okay, the original color associated with St. Patrick was blue, not green.
True.
True. It was blue. It was blue. Okay, here's one. This is an easy one for you, okay? Chicago dyes its river green every year on St. Patrick's Day.
True.
Okay, that was an easy one.
I've been to it many times.
Many times. Oh, we got to hear more about that after our games.
Ooh.
Okay, St. Patrick used the shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity.
True.
True. Yes.
Shout out Ann Thomas.
Come on, shout out Ann Thomas. Are you cheating, Ann Thomas?
Like that. I gotta call a friend.
Phone a friend. Okay, we got it. How about this one? Corned beef and cabbage is the traditional Irish dish in Ireland, which is why it's so synonymous with St. Patrick's Day here.
I feel like that's false.
That is false. That is not. That is a totally, entirely American thing, corned beef and cabbage. There are more people of Irish descent living in the United States than in Ireland. True or false?
Ooh, part of me wants to say true.
But part of you wants to say
false
as well. So what part of you will say true or false?
I'm gonna go true on this one.
It is
Yay!
true. There are more Irish people here in these United States of America than in Ireland.
That's just crazy.
Just sheer numbers as well. St. Patrick's Day is always celebrated on a weekend.
False.
Because today
is Tuesday. You're trying to get me.
How about that? Okay. As Ray Templin is looking quizitory as well. Ray, what do you think so far of the questions here, my friend?
They're not that hard.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. How about this one then, tough guy? Leprechauns were originally considered friendly creatures in Irish folklore.
False.
False. False.
You sure?
Yeah.
That is false.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Maybe you guys know what you're doing.
I mean, did we be Irish?
Okay. A couple more. The first St. Patrick's Day parade took place in the United States.
True.
False.
True.
It's such an American
That's
thing.
right. The first
I like the multiple choice one.
Yeah. Okay, last one. 4-leaf clovers are considered lucky because they are extremely common in Ireland.
I'll let her go first.
I'm going to go true.
False.
It is false. How about that? We want to thank everybody for playing our thank you. Thank you very much. And Dominic, solid job by you back at the station for playing a little music on demand. Now, Beth Ann Long, let me get back to your St. Patrick's Day in Chicago, because we had somebody on the television side of things today at Fox 2 call in and tell us that St. Patrick's Day in Chicago was something that every American should do at least once in their lives.
I completely agree.
What is it about St. Patrick's Day in Chicago?
Well, I'm going to say one, it's best if you are college age.
Sure.
Going. That is my times that I have experienced Chicago during St. Patrick's Day. I think it's just the culture there. Obviously, like, there's a huge Irish culture surrounding Chicago, and that city just takes it to a whole other level. Like, everything out on the streets, the river, like everything.
And the river, you've got to see the Chicago River be dyed green
It's
as well.
unbelievable. I could not believe like how vibrant it is too. It's not just like a dirty green like pond water you're looking at. Like, it's bright like green.
And they throw the dye in there, and then they do the river boats through and everything like that. I will tell you, this day for me back in the day, and I mentioned this at the top of hour number one, it wasn't until 2020 that I had a Monday through Friday schedule. I worked weekends a lot. When I was when I was in the sports department, sports are played on weekends. The big, the Lions are on the weekend. The biggest games usually are happening on weekends. So you were working a traditional weekend schedule where, you have a Wednesday, Thursday off, a Tuesday, Wednesday, a Monday, Tuesday. So St. Patrick's Day for me, having a middle of the week day off was something like everybody took part of. When you're the only guy that is off on a Tuesday and nobody wants to hang out with you week after week, that's one thing. But St. Patrick's Day was always special, and the weather played a huge role in it too.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day was the best day in college. Yes, you could probably understand why.
Because a lot of people, over the course of the winter, you're miserable. In slowly but surely, the weather starts to creep up a little bit. It's going to be in the mid 50s, maybe even 60 on Saturday. Imagine if it was a St. Patrick's Day and it's sunny and 60 out.
It'd be amazing.
It would be. This is, Derek Kever said earlier today on Fox 2, this was the coldest St. Patrick's Day since 1976. That is 50 years.
This is crazy.
I think that's knocked down some of the vibe.
It does
today.
It does.
And maybe, look, in my limited sphere, I saw video of what was happening at Old Shillelagh earlier this morning, and it didn't seem as packed as it normally was. This place, by the way, was packed earlier. It has since thinned out a little bit, but nonetheless, I do believe that weather has played a factor in downplaying the day a little bit today, perhaps.
I agree with that. Like the weather that's going on right now, like it doesn't make me want to go out and celebrate the Irish. Like
No.
I kind of go lay in bed.
I mean, this entire winter has made me want to do that, but nonetheless. Anyway, Beth Ann, for winning the St. Patrick's Trivia, you and Danielle have earned lunch tomorrow.
Yay.
Courtesy of yours truly. Danielle didn't even play, but somewhere Danielle is listening to this saying to herself, I got lunch tomorrow. And so
You're
you
welcome,
got
Danielle.
lunch is on me tomorrow. How about that, guys?
Thank you.
Good? All right. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. The Mitch Albom Show will be broadcasting here live at the top of the hour. I'm starting to see some of those gentlemen filter in here at Doyle's Irish Pub in St. John's Resort, Plymouth, Michigan. Having a lot of fun. 760 WJR.
It's time for an NCAA tournament schedule preview. March Madness tips off with first four action tonight and Wednesday, including two 11-seed battles between Texas, North Carolina State, and then Miami of Ohio and SMU tomorrow. Then on Thursday, a full slate of 16 games, including 1 seeds Duke and Michigan taking the floor. Followed on Friday by top seeds Arizona and Florida getting their tournament started. Stay tuned for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
O'Reilly.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for $36.99. Limits apply. See store for details. Trust our professional parts people to recommend the products for your next oil change. Visit your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
WJR.
Visit Old St. Patrick Catholic Church for their 48th annual Lenten Fish Fry Dinners every Friday, February 20th through March 27th from 4:30 till 7 p.m. Dinners include fish, choice of potato or mac and cheese, salad, and a beverage. Adult meals are $18 with discounts for seniors and children. Kids 4 and under eat free. St. Patrick Catholic Church is located at 5671 Whitmore Lake Road in Ann Arbor. For more information, visit stpatricka2.org.
Fox News, I'm Tom Rigotti. Fighting rages on in the Middle East following U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran. Speaking during his meeting with President Trump at the White House today, Irish Prime Minister Micheál Martin says he hopes there will be a diplomatic solution.
To work to see can we bring peace, different regime to Iran where Iranians can live in peace again and the people in the Middle East can live in peace.
Airports are seeing delays and staffing issues due to the partial government shutdown. Fox Business Network's Madison Allworth reports from Newark Liberty International Airport.
Officers missed their first full paycheck on Friday, and as a result, the call-out rate for TSA officers was 10.19% on Sunday. That's compared to the normal 2% before the shutdown.
Democrats say they won't approve any Homeland Security funding without changes to ICE and CBP. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, with the expertise and skill of NECA contractors to work on your commercial, industrial, or public electrical construction project. NECA members like Matic Electric are powering Michigan's future project after project on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. We've got an accident on I-94 eastbound at 21 Mile Road that's blocking your left shoulder. Expect delays on I-94 eastbound between 11 and 12 Mile. Debris blocking your center lanes on the Davison westbound near Woodward Avenue, and construction on the Jeffries eastbound and westbound between Levan and I-275. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A cloudy afternoon with highs in the upper 20s today. Some clouds for tonight will drop down to 19. Right now overcast and 27 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Lloyd Jackson.
Not every brain tumor patient is the same. And at Henry Ford, laser ablation therapy, which uses a tiny laser guided by MRI to target and destroy tumors within the brain at pinpoint precision, is best for certain tumors and lesions, especially those that are small to medium, hard to reach, or previously considered inoperable.
With a laser ablation, you're able to pass a laser fiber without damaging those tissues and thus not have that collateral damage on the way in. At the same time, for some territories deep in the brain, when we resect them, there are tumors that pass through those parts of the brain that supply other parts of the brain that we're not planning on resecting, and that can cause a stroke. Laser ablation seems to not injure those blood vessels, and so we're able to do ablations of even deep parts of the brain without causing strokes in other parts of the brain.
That's Dr. Ian Lee, a neurosurgeon at Henry Ford Health and co-director of the Hermelin Brain Tumor Center. Dr. Lee says the whole process usually takes a few hours and most patients can go home within a day or two, much faster than conventional brain surgery. Laser ablation can also be combined with radiation or chemotherapy to improve outcomes for complex cases. For families hearing about this for the first time, Dr. Lee encourages starting a conversation early with a neurosurgeon.
Certainly, the neurosurgeon is the right person to ask. They are the sort of quote unquote subject matter experts when it comes to that. But, I think if you don't ask that question these days, then I think you're really potentially missing out on a very important technology.
For more information on laser ablation brain surgery, call the Henry Ford Hermelin Brain Tumor Center at 888-777-4167. I'm Lloyd Jackson for WJR Health Watch.
You could file your taxes on a basic free service, which is fine. But are you okay with fine? Because when it's your money on the line, you really want to guess if you missed a credit or hope the math is right. Get the confidence of TurboTax for free right on the Intuit Credit Karma app. Free Fed and free state for simple 1040s only. Around 37% of filers qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Wow, did you see this?
Barrett News Media. What is that?
Well, they're a national publishing and consulting firm. Media professionals all read their stuff. But look at who they have in the top 15 of the best radio shows in the entire country.
Oh, Focus with Paul W. Smith.
Yeah. JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And of course, the Mitch Albom Show.
I guess that's what they mean when they say the great voices of the Great Lakes.
I always thought I had a pretty great voice. I really do.
Don't sing, hon. Don't. It ain't that great.
Barrett News Media says they're the tops in the country. Catch all of the great weekday shows and see for yourself. The great voices of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. It's a sea of green at Doyle's Irish Pub on WJR. And the annual Paul W. Smith St. Patrick's Day celebration carries on with JR Afternoon's Ryan Ermanni, sponsored in part by Visit Detroit, Nika, Weingarts, Kitsch Attorneys and Counselors, Skyworks Equipment Rental, Genesis Cadillac, Estate Planning Legal Services, and by Wigley's famous Eastern Market Corned Beef. Once again, here's Ryan.
Having a lot of fun here at Doyle's Irish Pub. We are at St. John's Resort in Plymouth, Michigan. And if you have not made your way to St. John's Resort for some time, it is a great reminder to come here. There is a lot going on. To help us talk about it and have a conversation, somebody that I've talked to a lot now in my time here at WJR, Kevin Doyle, COO of Pulte Family Foundation, leading the Catholic Initiative as well. Kevin, thanks so much for the time, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. How can you not be great on St. Patrick's Day, Ryan? Thank you for having me on. Thanks for coming to Doyle's.
Absolutely. I love this place. And we were here last year for the Live golf tournament, which to this day was, in my opinion, the best golf tournament that I had been to, because that's my speed. There's music, there's games, there's things to do, there's fun on every hole. And I know there's a lot of excitement to get that tournament back here to St. John's. Really highlighted how special this place was too.
Yeah. I mean, I remember we were, I think, in the same spot the week leading up to the tournament, and it was a lot of fun to have people who didn't really know what to expect. They've heard about Live, they've never been to it, and we just encourage people, come check it out, because it's not going to be what you expect. And the number of comments we got afterwards is that is the most fun golf tournament I've ever been to. I don't even like golf, and I still had so much fun. Yeah, we're thrilled to have them back again this year. One person that's not thrilled today, I talked to our superintendent, Kevin Peck. He is frustrated with this weather. It makes it a little hard to get the golf course ready, although he promised me it would be in pristine condition by August.
I can only imagine. This is the coldest St. Patrick's Day in 50 years in Michigan. 1976 was the last time it was this cold. So your superintendent here, I can understand why he's having such a hard time.
We got trees falling down around the course too from the wind. Yeah, but it will be great by April. We'll be ready.
No doubt about it. I wanted to talk to you as well, because a couple of months ago, you and I, in an entire group of people, did a telethon for the Catholic Initiative, raising money for what you guys do at the Catholic Initiative. I want you to tell us about that, but some of that money stayed right here in our area as well, and that construction at St. Anne's is happening right now. Tell us a little bit about the Catholic Initiative and what is happening at St. Anne's.
Well, if you think about the Pulte Family Foundation and our mission as a foundation, it's all centered around serving the most vulnerable, marginalized populations, communities locally and all around the world. And so the Catholic Initiative is born out of that mission, with a specific focus on how do we ensure that the Catholic faith and its ministries and its parishes and schools are available to the most economically vulnerable populations in this country. And we started that with St. Anne's Basilica in downtown Detroit. Amazing historical facility, building, serves an incredible community, needed a full restoration. It just doesn't, the community there can't financially fund it on its own. And And so we have kind of stepped in with the Catholic Initiative to both invest in and partner with the parish and the diocese to restore, but also to amplify their mission and also to ensure that it's sustainable for generations. And we're doing that in a few different communities around the country right now, with a couple more that are under discussion to be added to the Catholic Initiative. So at St. Anne's, we just this past winter have started the work of the restoration. It's officially underway. It's going to be a big project over the next 2 years or so, but we feel it'll be a tremendous, not only physical restoration of St. Anne's, but it will create really an oasis that can be the heartbeat of that community downtown. And we got a lot of work to do, but we're excited about it.
Well, it's really incredible what you guys do and the help that you provide. The impact that you have on human beings' lives is something that is so immeasurable, and I could not be happier to help be a small part in that night and with what you do at the Catholic Initiative. I wanted to get your take on Lou Holtz too, because I know you're a Notre Dame guy, and it's as a Michigan guy, there's a rivalry there, but there is always an absolute respect for people like Lou Holtz and what he meant to young people, what he meant to college athletics, what he meant after his coaching career, just as a Notre Dame guy. What did Lou Holtz mean to you while you were at Notre Dame, and then afterwards, just seeing him out there and everything like that?
What I'm about to say is going to sound to you like, oh my gosh, that is a classic Notre Dame fan. But when I was driving here last night, my mom and I were on the phone talking about Lou Holtz.
I love that.
And part of the conversation was just because my mom was watching his funeral on the live broadcast. Part of the conversation was he just was so much more than a football coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he was truly a coach of young men and a mentor of young men. He did our call podcast actually with Father Mike Schmitz. And I had heard, I think it was Mike Greenberg from ESPN had said, when he was having his first child, or you saw that, and Lou Holtz stopped him dead in his tracks and said, make sure that kid knows every day how much you love their mother. I mean, that has nothing to do with football, right? But that's the way anybody that ever played for him will tell you that's the way he coached them as young people. And I think that's why he was so successful as a football coach, and why he has lived on so much longer than just a football coach.
And how his team talks about him, not when when they were young players, when they were fathers and business owners, and just how he mentored them long after their playing days at Notre Dame. That says everything about the guy.
It didn't work out this year. We were going to try to host a golf outing for Holtz's Heroes, which is a foundation that was set up, with some of his former players that are in charge of it. And one of the things they fund at that foundation is for people to be able to go. If someone on the team, a former player, dies, they want the team to be able to come and show the kids of that player that look how great of an impact he had on his whole team and those things. I mean, and so hopefully we can have them come back here at another point, but it's about a lot more than football with someone like a Lou Holtz.
No doubt about it. Kevin, it's great to spend some time with you. I'm sure we are going to spend a lot more time together over the next several months as we gear up for Live Golf once again here at St. John's Resort.
We get the snow out of the way, we'll be ready for golf.
Deal. I'm in. Kevin Doyle, the COO of the Pulte Family Foundation, leading the Catholic Initiative. We'll be right back. Steve Courtney going to join us, 760 WJR.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
America, does anybody really believe that Washington, especially Congress, is going to reduce the debt? They're not. In fact, nobody even talks about it anymore. That has a massive impact on the value of the dollar and the currency. And it's only a matter of time, in my humble opinion, that this is going to implode. If your retirement is mostly stocks and bonds, you may be taking a risk, more risk than you think. Now, look, diversification, that's what real experts talk about. It's a hedge against instability. Have you noticed precious metals, silver and gold, are having a spectacular bull run? Doesn't it make sense to get in it before the rocket takes off? My friends at Monetary Gold have been around since 2000, and they have the experience over more than a quarter of a century to help tailor your portfolio to your needs. If you call now and say Mark sent you, it will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD, 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
That debris on the Davison westbound near Woodward Avenue is cleared. We still have that wreck on I-94 eastbound at 21 Mile that's blocking your left shoulder. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. A cloudy afternoon, highs in the upper 20s. Some clouds for tonight. Snow showers expected this evening. A low of 19. Overcast for tomorrow. Warmer with a high of 36. Right now, mostly cloudy, 27 degrees. I'm Rich Bluzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
WJR, having a lot of fun. No green beer for me here today, though, by the way. I will have you know. Can't do that. Steve Courtney, how are you, my friend?
Happy St. Patty's Day, lad.
Any Guinness for you? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Yeah, big day, and you bring up green beer.
I was thinking about you when I pulled in and saw the golf course here, and I was like, is Courtney out there golfing in shorts and sandals today, flip-flops today?
I'll tell you what, if you're a golfer, the great thing about St. Patrick's Day, it's just a special day, whatever, but we are getting a day closer to teeing it up. In this great state of Michigan, that could be a couple of weeks. It could be a month and a half. You never know.
No doubt.
Here's the deal. Big win for the Red Wings last night. More on that in just a bit there, Ryan. But your 2026 NCAA tournament pretty much officially gets underway tonight. You've got some first four activity in the Midwest region tipping off at 6:40. You've got UMBC, the Retrievers, up against the Bison of Howard. Again, that's first four stuff. Down there in beautiful Dayton, Ohio. I'm going to remind you again, because it certainly bears repeating, when you're bringing the University of Maryland, Baltimore County into the conversation, go back to 2018, the Retrievers, the first ever 16 seed to beat a number one seed, taking care of Virginia in short order, 75-54. As we discussed yesterday, Ryan, you don't think Lightning's going to strike twice?
I just think that the money involved in college sports now has pushed the pendulum so far to the bigger name schools that the little guy doesn't have a chance anymore. The mid-major, you might get one or two upsets, but in my opinion, the days of the 15 beating the 2, the 14 against the 3, even the 12-5, I'm just not sure you're going to see it anymore. I'm just not sure.
The nightcap, as far as first four action tonight, goes off 9:15 again in Dayton. Interesting. Texas and North Carolina State. So we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, as we've been discussing over a period of time there, Ryan, each and every game certainly critical for the Red Wings. And quite frankly, they've got now 14 games left, and it would behoove them to beat the teams that, well, quite frankly, they're supposed to beat. Last night, for example, at LCA, playing host to the Calgary Flames. Calgary, they have the NHL's second worst record, ahead of only the Pacific Division rival Vancouver. Anyway, fear not. The Red Wings take care of business, knocking off the Flames 5-2. Big game for Showtime. Patrick Kane, he scored twice for the Wing Wheelers to move into sole possession of fourth place on the all-time goals list for NHL players born in these great United States. He has 504 career goals, trailing only Mike Madonald's 561, Keith Tkachuk's 538, and Jeremy Roenick's 513. Been in the league 19 years. He entered the night tied with Joe Mullen at 502. Earlier this season, Showtime passed Madonald to become the highest scoring American-born player in league history. He now has 1,383 career points in 1,355 games. What a stellar career. Anyway, let's cut to the chase, shall we? As I mentioned, 14 games left now for the Winged Wheelers. You look at the Atlantic Division, you've got Buffalo on top with 88 points, Tampa with 84. Now, interesting enough, you've got the Montreal Canadiens and Red Wings there with 82, and the Boston Bruins with 81. Right now, Ryan, the Red Wings and Boston Bruins are holding on to the first and second, and those are the only two wild card spots. And wait a minute, the plot thickens. The Red Wings will play host to Les Habitants du Montréal, 7 o'clock on Thursday night. These two teams have split the first two meetings of the year. And then just to make things a bit more interesting for the Red Wings in Hockey Town, they will host the Boston Bruins Saturday night. That's going to be an 8 o'clock start, by the way, as it's going to be nationally televised on ABC. Wow, let's go.
Look, you got to come away with 3 points, I think, in those two games at least. You need to get a win, and you need to steal a point somewhere else. These are games points you have to have. If you look at Montreal, Detroit, Boston, and then on the outside looking in Columbus and Ottawa, you're looking at 5 teams for 3 spots. And the Red Wings right now have played more games than every team that I just mentioned. Right. So you have got to come away with some points. You've got to win some of these games. And if you could do so in regulation, that would be ideal.
Well, you're right, because one of the critical tiebreakers as it applies to the NHL playoffs is regulation wins. Now, as you mentioned, the Canadiens have 2 games in hand on the Red Wings. However, in that critical regulation win department, the Red Wings now with 26 to Montreal's 25. We'll see if that plays out. Meanwhile, the Pistons, they're going to be in Washington tonight to face the Wizards. Interesting scheduling, as a matter of fact. More on that in just a bit. 7 o'clock is the tip time. They're going to be back in Washington for a 7 o'clock start on Thursday night. How about that? The Pistons coming off the 119-108 loss to Toronto on Sunday. Asar Thompson missed 5 games with that right ankle. He was back in the lineup. However, the Pistons did not have beef stew Isaiah Stewart. He's nursing a left calf strain. So here's the deal. The Wizards, they're struggling. They're going to enter this tilt tonight having lost 12, count them 12 in a row. The Pistons 32-11 against teams in the Eastern Conference. They're going to be squaring off for the 3rd time this season. Oddly enough, the Wizards won the last meeting 126-117 on February 6th. Will Riley showed up for work. He scored 20 points to help the Wizards in that shocking win. The Pistons, Ryan, a mere 5-5 in their last 10. Still 3.5 games better than the Celtics in the Eastern Conference, 5 games better than the Knicks. And the Cavaliers, all of a sudden, 7.5 games off the pace.
It's interesting. You look at Detroit as well. You've just got to take your opportunities when you can get them. It feels like everything has fallen right for them, even with Jason Tatum. Now he's back, obviously, but he was out for most of the year. New York has fallen off. They fired their coach a little bit. Not a little bit. They did fire their coach last year, and they were regrouping a little bit. Cleveland has fallen off. If you look at Indiana in the East, Indiana was in the NBA Finals last year. They were the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Long way to tell you that every year is so unique, and you have no idea when the next time you are going to be sitting at the top of these standings again. You have just got to get to the playoffs, be healthy, and then take your chances, man.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. And it is a shocking story. There's no question about it. Wanted to mention this because for your Wolverines and all the other teams in the Midwest region, maybe, just maybe, your road to the Final Four got a little easier. How about authorities finding 2.1 pounds of marijuana in Alabama star Aiden Holloway's apartment? He was arrested on a felony drug possession charge yesterday morning. The amount discovered in this arrest significant because any amount of pot above 2.2 pounds or a kilogram in the state of Alabama can result in a drug trafficking charge. There's been indiscretions in sport, probably more times than we care to discuss here, Ryan. But this just blows me away. He is a gifted basketball player, among the top scorers on the Crimson Tide, and they're just a few days away from opening their tournament. And this,
you can't even believe anything of the sort. I mean, how does it even happen, right? I mean, I guess I could understand how a guy would get mixed up in providing information in a gambling ring. This I can't understand. There's no reason.
No, he posted $5,000 bail, and he did say he enjoys the smoke. Well, I guess so. Per the charging documents, narcotics task force there, while executing the search of his apartment, found pot in a backpack, a jacket pocket, a suitcase, and a TV entertainment stand in a vacuum-sealed bag, along with cash.
Smoking is one thing. Distributing a completely another thing.
Goodness.
Steve, we'll see you tomorrow, my friend. Good job.
All right. Look forward to it.
You got it. I want to thank everybody out here at Doyle's Irish Pub in Plymouth, Michigan, St. John's Resort. The great Ann Thomas is with me, Beth Ann Long, Ray Templin, Dave Rieger, cast of characters. Thank you, everybody. Don't go anywhere. The Mitch Albom Show is next, 760 WJR.